Building a car company is one of the hardest things a human being can attempt. It takes billions of dollars, thousands of engineers, and decades of patience just to get a single model to market. But what happens when the car itself becomes the weapon that destroys everything? Today we're looking at 5 cars that didn't just fail, they took entire companies down with them. Companies that had everything. Brilliant engineers, passionate founders, world-changing technology, gone because of one car. Let's get into it. Number 5. The Fisker Karma, 2012. Henrik Fisker had a dream. He wanted to build the world's most beautiful electric car. And for a brief moment, he succeeded. The Karma was stunning. A long, low, sweeping design that made Teslas look ordinary. It had a solar panel roof, a plug-in hybrid powertrain. It was featured in Hollywood films. It sold for $103,000, and celebrities lined up to buy one. But underneath that beautiful body, the Karma was a disaster. The battery supplier, A123 Systems, went bankrupt mid-production. Then Hurricane Sandy flooded a port in New Jersey and destroyed 338 Karma vehicles sitting on the dock. Then the cars started catching fire spontaneously. Consumer Reports called it the worst car they had ever tested. By 2013, Fisker Automotive had burned through over $1 billion, including $500 million in U.S. government loans, and filed for bankruptcy. The company that was supposed to be the green alternative to Ferrari had been destroyed by its own flagship car. Number 5. Number 4. The Vector W8, 1990. In the late 1980s, Gerald Viegert had a vision to build an American supercar that would destroy Ferrari and Lamborghini on their own turf. The Vector W8 was the result. Twin turbocharged V8, 625 horsepower, a claimed top speed of over 380 kilometers per hour. It looked like a stealth fighter jet on wheels. Magazines called it the fastest car on Earth. But here's where the story turns dark. Vector Motors only ever built 17 cars. 17. At $450,000 each, that should have been enough to fund development. Instead, the money disappeared. Production deadlines were missed by years. Deposits were taken from customers who waited and waited and never received their cars. Investors grew suspicious. Investigations were opened. Viegert was eventually forced out of his own company by Indonesian investors who took control and shut everything down. The W8 was so extreme, so overpromised, and so underfunded that it consumed everything around it. Of those 17 cars built, several were never completed. Some exist only as shells. Number 4. The car that ate its own company alive. Number 3. The Tucker 48, 1948. Preston Tucker had ideas that were 30 years ahead of his time. In 1947, he announced a revolutionary new automobile, the Tucker 48. It had a rear engine, a padded dashboard for passenger safety, a windshield designed to pop out in a crash, a center headlight that turned with the steering wheel, disc brakes, fuel injection, seatbelts. In 1947, seatbelts. Tucker raised millions, built a factory in Chicago, and took deposits on thousands of cars. And then the enemies came. The established American car industry, threatened by Tucker's innovation, allegedly lobbied Washington to destroy him. The Securities and Exchange Commission launched an investigation. Tucker was indicted for fraud. The trial became a media circus. Preston Tucker was ultimately acquitted. But by then, it was too late. Only 51 Tucker 48s were ever built. The factory was seized, the company collapsed, and Preston Tucker died of lung cancer just 2 years later, at 53 years old. Whether the conspiracy theories are true or not, One man, one car, one company. Erased from history. Number 3. Number 2. The Bugatti EB110, 1991. By 1987, the Bugatti name had been dead for over 30 years. Then Romano Artioli, an Italian businessman, spent a fortune buying the rights to the brand, building a brand new factory in northern Italy, and creating what he believed would be the greatest supercar ever made. The EB110 was extraordinary. A 3.5-liter quad turbocharged V12, 553 horsepower, 4-wheel drive, a top speed of 351 kilometers per hour. Michael Schumacher owned one. It was faster than the Ferrari F40 that was dominating every magazine cover at the time. But the timing was catastrophic. The EB110 launched in 1991. The very next year, the global recession hit. Luxury car sales collapsed. The factory had cost over $100 million to build. The cars cost $350,000 each. Nobody was buying. By 1995, Bugatti Automobili had filed for bankruptcy. The factory was abandoned. Workers arrived one morning to find the gates locked and their jobs gone. The EB110 was too expensive, too late, and launched directly into the worst possible economic moment. Bugatti survived, but only because Volkswagen Group bought the brand at bankruptcy auction for almost nothing. Without that rescue, Bugatti would have been gone forever. Number 2. And number 1, the car whose story is so extraordinary. It became a movie. The DeLorean DMC-12, 1981. John DeLorean was the most celebrated automobile executive in America. He had designed the Pontiac GTO. He had risen to become the youngest division head in General Motors history. He was handsome, charismatic, and brilliant. And in 1975, he walked away from a $650,000 salary to build his own car. The DMC-12 was visionary. Stainless steel body panels that never needed painting, gull-wing doors that opened upward like a bird taking flight, a futuristic wedge shape that looked like nothing else on Earth. But the production was a disaster from day one. The factory was built in Belfast, Northern Ireland, chosen for political reasons and British government subsidies. The workforce had no automotive experience. Quality control was non-existent. Cars arrived at dealerships with doors that wouldn't close, engines that wouldn't start, and panels that didn't align. Then the British government cut the funding. DeLorean was desperate. In 1982, John DeLorean was arrested in a Los Angeles hotel room in an FBI sting operation, caught on camera apparently agreeing to finance a cocaine deal worth $24 million to save his company. He was acquitted. The jury found it was entrapment, but the damage was done. The company had already collapsed. Only 9,000 DMC-12s were ever built. John DeLorean spent the rest of his life fighting lawsuits and bankruptcy proceedings until his death in 2005. The car that was supposed to be his legacy became the story of his destruction. And yet, because of a film franchise about time travel, the DeLorean DMC-12 is more famous today than almost any car ever built. Number 1. The DeLorean DMC-12, the car that destroyed a company, excites, and became immortal. 5 cars, 5 companies, 5 stories of ambition that went further than the money could follow. From a cocaine arrest in a Los Angeles hotel room to a factory locked overnight without warning. These aren't just car stories, they're human stories about dreams that burned too bright, too fast. Which of these 5 do you think deserved a second chance? Let us know in the comments below. Subscribe for more deep dives into the cars that changed everything. See you in the next one.